It has been said that children don't come with an instruction manual. In short, insightful segments, learn from an eclectic panel of parents as they offer their perspectives on issues that affect parenting today. The Home Nation Roundtable. Our conversation topic for tonight is, as a parent, what is the one thing you will do differently now?
Welcome again for another fantastic Home Nation Roundtable session, and thank you again for being with us. As you know, being a parent, nobody says it's ever easy. So I'm sure that within all of us there, if we could ever wind back that clock, what would be the one thing that, if you could adjust slightly, what would you do as a parent?
For me, with my older boy, I would like to pay more attention and do a bit more research on these Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
For Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because my son, when he was young, he was really into it and he used to, they've got this power and they're able to fight and all that. So for me, I was like sort of cursory thing, and I was more an outdoor person. I think he knew that I was not in the same wavelength, but he would share with me. But I wish I had known more, that I could actually sort of be involved with him a bit more.
Does he talk about it to say, I wish that you were more into it?
It didn't. He's a kind boy, but I think he knew that I. And then lately, it became these computer games too. I was also not into it, so. But now he doesn't need me anymore because he's 17 and he's got his friends. To be more involved in these little things that
things that he's passionate about.
Yeah, instead of just doing things that I enjoy. Maybe we went out. We used to sort of go around unearthing stones and pebbles and looking for centipedes and millipedes and all that. We used to do that. But I think this part of it, I should have paid more attention and done a bit more research.
And Rajiv, how about for yourself? What's that one thing?
Well, I think for me, if I could turn back the clock, the one thing that I would probably want to do more of is listen. I mean, my kids would come to me and tell me the same story like 10 times over. And by the time they got to the third time, I'm like, son, you know what? I can tell you what the ending of the story is now. I've heard it before. But I wish that if I could turn back the clock, I would have the patience to sit through those 10 sessions and then listen to the story again, just to let them know that, hey, I'm really interested in what you have to say, and thank you for sharing it with me.
And Sharanjit.
What I would do differently, I think slightly controversial, but I wish I could turn back time and turn into a tiger mum. I really do, because everyone out there is a tiger mum and I am not, and as a result, I'm convinced that my kid is not, in terms of academic, and this is what all Singaporeans parents worry about. It's all about the academic results, how they do, and I just think when I look back, and I was very lucky because I worked for a wonderful organisation that allowed me to have a 3-day week when I first had my child. I don't think many other Singaporean firms would let you do that, but the BBC's a great organisation that way, let me have a 3-day week. I was still allowed to work and I still had my hand in it, so I wasn't going completely nuts, but I had all that time with my child, and I loved it, and I just wish I'd spent more time. I mean, I did spend a lot of time playing with him, just really enjoying him. He was a lovely little boy, a lovely toddler, but I just didn't push. And I just wonder now, and I look back and I'm like, oh God, I really should have been getting him into his ABCs. I should have got him into his other things, because all the other mums were doing it.
Where was mine, Chen, when I needed you?
And I was like, oh my God. And then of course the whole tiger mum thing came about. And that was, obviously it was controversial because people agreed with it or they didn't. And then I just thought, God, I compare myself to that and I just fall so short. And it's terrifying because there are these people out there who do this to their kids, who push them. And thankfully, I think in retrospect though, my child is now more well-rounded, he's much more sociable. I think he's, he doesn't feel stressed. And also, unfortunately, we then discovered he was dyslexic. So perhaps if I'd been a bit more on the ball with, trying to push him academically at a young age, I might have been able to identify that, and I feel really sorry that I didn't. Thankfully, it was a really bright school teacher who knew there was something amiss. We did the tests, and true enough, came back he's dyslexic.
Sounds like you have a great relationship with your son.
Yeah, I know.
But
Brilliant.
so do you think you know, if you were able to turn back time and become a tiger mother, you would still have this kind of relationship with your son.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably
Which would be a shame.
hating. Yes, that's true.
Because it's, you know, it's interesting what Adrian was talking about before about pushing, and you know, and for you, is you felt that perhaps you didn't push enough.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adrian, I hear your boys at a School of the Arts.
Yes,
So,
they're
yes, yeah.
both at the School of the Arts, and they're both very happy.
Yeah.
For myself, when I became a dad, it changed my world. Okay, becoming a dad just transformed me. It just changed the rules of the game for me, and
Life changed.
yeah, you know, it suddenly defined who I was and gave me a purpose and all that kind of stuff. And I can't remember being happier. Okay. And when Zach was 6 months old, after 6 months of just bliss, we discovered that we were going to have another one.
Wow.
We were like, what? I was just defining myself. I haven't finished defining myself. There's too much definition. And you know, expecting a second child that was a surprise, I was in shock for the next few years. I literally was in shock for the whole of the second pregnancy, the whole, you know, through his birth, and through the first 3 years of Xander's life. I think it's fair to say I became a very stressed out dad for the next 3 years. So from being a very happy dad for the first 6 months, being a father, for the next 3, I was just really on edge all the time. And you know, they were both very young when we moved back to Singapore, so you know, a new environment, new job, everything, the whole upheaval made me even more tense. And you know, unbeknownst to me, I just turned into a really, really grouchy person, not very nice person. And I didn't realize this until my son's kindergarten teacher showed me a picture that my younger son had drawn of the family. You know, all the kids had to draw family, you know, daddy, mummy, and kids. And this picture that Xander, my younger boy, drew was daddy, mummy, and his brother and himself. And everyone was smiling except daddy. Daddy was like that. And it slapped me in the face. It was a huge thing, because to realize this is the daddy that my son and probably my sons know me as, and that was a huge wake up call for me. And it took me a little while to try to get out of that funk that I had been in for 3 years, but it's sad to say it's almost like 3 lost years of the first years of my son's life, which I can't get back. And we have a great relationship now, I dare say, but that was a huge kind of redefining moment for me as well. I wish I'd seen that a little sooner.
So you had a massive defining and then redefining.
I mean, as you know, parenthood will redefine you as you go along.
Yeah. Wow. I think that says it all. Parenting redefines you continually. Yeah. You know, and I think you know, as parents ourselves, we constantly, every day, wake up and think what's going to happen. You know, and you know, I know I do that. Just when you think you know, something else happens. Wow, thank you, and thank you very much. And I'm sure all of our parents at home can also reflect upon some of the things that they may have done, if they could wind back the clock. So thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
If you would like to see more videos that help take your parenting skills to another level, just click on the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching Champs TV, and continue to discover the champion in your child. This has been a Mind Champs Media production.